There are many ways you can characterize West Alabama's Shaira Rivera. She's a team motivator, a competitor with international experience, a rising star in the Gulf South Conference, and one of the very few D2 athletes who can say she's beaten a world ranked pro. Coming up, Shaira shares a journey that began in the Philippines and has now led her to the tennis courts of one of the top teams in the conference. Her story's next on Inside the GSC.
Today on Inside the GSC, we're joined by Shaira Rivera, a standout for the University of West Alabama's women's tennis team. Before coming to the Gulf South Conference, Shaira competed internationally, including a memorable upset win over a world-ranked opponent in the Billie Jean King Cup Classic, and now she is making her mark in Tiger Country. Shaira, thank you for joining us. I know with the time difference over there, it's probably, 11:30 right now, but we appreciate you being a late night owl and joining us here today.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here in your podcasting.
For sure. We'll get right into it, Shira. To start things off with the obvious question that we have for student athletes. How did you first get into tennis and what experience or moments made you fall in love with the sport?
Well, I started at the age of 10 because my dad is a tennis player. So I started like a ball kid. So I pick up balls so that I can get money. And then I started loving tennis. And then after that I joined tournaments, and then there's a academy that saw my potential in tennis. So they tried to recruit me, and then they sponsor me to play international and local tournaments here, also in the Philippines and other countries.
Shira, what's that experience like? Because obviously, when we think of the sport of tennis, we think of it as an international sport, right? But I think a lot of people associate tennis with like the European Opens and they look at it from different international countries. But what does that culture look like within the Philippines, knowing that it's not one of the most known sports out there? It doesn't have too much of a popularity. But how do you work through that culture and how do you look to grow and promote the sport within your own country?
Well, right now, because we have this, I have a teammate. Her name is Alex Iala. So tennis right now in the Philippines is um, very famous now because she's like top 50 in the world. So, but like when before, it's just so hard because like like you're gonna have a hard time because tennis is very expensive sport. You need to have like rackets, you need grips. So it's just so expensive. And of course, I'm not that like my family is like I'm not shy to say this. We are like really poor, but because of tennis, I feel like tennis is the key. That's why I went to a lot of countries. I played, and then yeah, tennis is the key also. That's why I'm in UWA for sure.
As we talk a little bit more about just tennis, you mentioned that you started when you were 10. Your father introduced you to the sport. Would you say that he was your role model and your mentor in the sport, or did you have other coaches that inspired you to be better? Or take us a little bit more through that development and just name a few people that have inspired you in your early journeys as a tennis player.
Well, that's given because I really idolize my father because he's a policeman here in the Philippines. And then he also played tennis. That's why I started playing tennis. But like my idol is Maria Sharapova. I always watch her video, and I just like, oh, I want to be like her, because she's pretty. Like, she's really good. And then we have this sponsor, Romeo Chan. He got me from my province, and because he saw me that I have potential in tennis, so he started like he's my sponsor here. They have like an academy here. It's called Philippine Tennis Academy. I was like trained in the province, and then they saw me that I have potential. That's why they got me in here in Manila, which is it's like 1 hour 30 minutes away, like fly. And then I started practice here, and then they sponsored me to play international and local tournaments here. And then of course I'm like we have this thing in the Philippines, like I don't know how to say it in English, but like it's like an utang na loob. So I'm like trying hard to train, trying hard to give everything every time I play tournaments, because I want them to be happy. I don't want them to feel that um, their money is a waste because they sponsored me to play this kind of tournament, but I'm not giving my all. That's why I'm so determined to like train hard, work hard, and then because their goal is for us to play college tennis in the US. That's why they help us. They help like poor people that doesn't have money but has a potential to play tennis.
And through the sponsorship and through you playing, you've gotten to a point where you start to compete internationally. At any point, Shira, growing up, was there a moment that you got to a point where you were so good to the point where you started believing, hey, this is something that I could do either from a collegiate level or even professionally, maybe?
Well, at first, I don't really believe in myself. I don't know. It's bad to say this, but of course, I feel like a lot of people believe in me. That's why I started believing in myself. That's why I started like playing good in a higher level. Like my goal is to be one of the best, like a professional tennis player. But of course, like what I said earlier, that we don't really have that money, because in tennis you need to travel to get points to play a lot of tournaments, but you need to pay for everything: the hotel, your coach, your team, of course your family also. So for me, like I don't really dream about about that kind of dream, because I know that I can't really make it because of financial problem.
As we look into more of the lines of as you're getting better, and of course, through that sponsorship that you mentioned earlier in finances, just want to take a little bit of a shift towards your time when you started competing internationally and you're representing your country. First off, Shira, as an individual and somebody from the Philippines, tell us about what that feeling is like and just what it means for you to represent your own country in anything, let alone tennis.
Like for me, it's very overwhelming. Like representing your country is one of my dream, like really one of my dream. And now I'm here. I feel so blessed that I'm in this position. So like of course it's so pressured, because you're raising your flag, you're like representing your country. But for me, I was just gonna give my 100% to 110% to play. I'm gonna give my all to play good, to not embarrass my country. Yeah.
Speaking of representing your country, now as we shift a little bit more towards the Billie Jean King Cup, great tournament in the area, and you had an upset that definitely made news, made an article. You upset a world rank opponent. Take us through that experience, just playing against this person, nobody really thought you had a chance, and you come around and you win this match. So take us through just that experience of what that was like for you.
At first, I mean, for me, I can't really believe that I upset that player, like 800 WTA player. She's like 6'2", and I'm like 5'3". So it's just like our height is just like this. But like I just played, I don't know, I just, like, to be honest, I prayed, and I'm like, I'm just gonna give everything, but I know that God is always with me. No matter what, He's gonna help me. That's why I'm like playing nothing to lose during that game. And then at first, okay, I'm gonna tell you this. At first, my coach said like, "Oh, maybe Alexa will play. My teammate in UWA will play the number one singles." But like Alexa got injured, so I am the option. So like for me, if you're an option, you don't have that kind of confidence to play because you know that they think that I'm gonna lose this much, you know. So when I walked inside the court, I just prayed. I prayed that I know that this happened for a reason. So I will just gonna give everything that I have. So we know in our draw, all of the players are really good, but our rank Philippines is like number 10. So everything we're like in the bottom. So like for us, we're like okay, our draw is so hard to get to the top. So we're just like enjoying and like we're just laughing. And then that happened. That's a good upset to be honest because they are ranked and we're not ranked. So after that win, no, I was like playing maybe 3 hours and like it's so hot. And then my coach said, you're gonna play doubles because I played singles and I'm gonna play doubles again for the deciding. And I was like cramping because it's so hot, but like thank God we won that match. And then the next match we won again. And then we went to the finals in that Billie Jean King Cup. Because if we won that finals, we promote to group one, which because we are in group two. So but we're very unlucky in the finals. We lost to Mongolia. Yeah, but that was very, I don't know, like people when they saw that result, people are like messaging me, "Oh wow, that's a good upset. I'm so proud of you." And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm so proud of myself also for like winning that match because that gave us momentum to win another country." So, yeah, we're just like I'm just so lucky and blessed.
Absolutely, and just again, what a moment too. There's some terms, here in America where it's like being the underdog country. And again, when nobody gave the Philippines a chance, you guys, it almost seemed like there were no there was no pressure to try to go out and in competition and dominate the way you guys did. And so that again was just, when I first read about that, I was like, this is unbelievable. But that just goes to show you the fire and the strength that you have inside of you, Shira.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here in like I'm representing my country again for Southeast Asia game because of my result during Billie Jean King Cup. That's why they invited me again to play for my country, which is really like overwhelming.
Absolutely, a sensation in the Philippines and someone who is continuing to putting Philippines on the map for tennis. Now we're going to switch things over a little bit from international competition to just when you first found out about West Alabama and just that journey and process that took you over to a city in Livingston, Alabama in the States. Take us through that story, Shira. Who first called you? Did you call them? How did you become a West Alabama Tiger?
Well, my teammate before, her name is Kim Iglupas. She's a really good friend with Jeff. So she said that that I'm good. She's telling Jeff that Jeff needs to what is it recruit me because I can help with his team. That's why me and Jeff started to like talk about scholarship thing, and I'm like because at first I was so scared to go to the States because like English country. So I'm like, for me, oh no, I'm not used to like talking English. But then that offer didn't like go away. Like every year I have like an offer. So I'm like, I think God has a plan. Maybe that's for me. States is for me. So I was like, okay, I'll just give it a try, you know? And then if I don't like, then I can come back home. But I'm so lucky that Jeff is there. Jeff is helping me a lot in UWA. That's why I stayed.
Outside of the English language and just the uncertainties and fears of just moving to a different country, were there any other adjustments that you had to make, especially since you were already competing internationally and with the Philippines, but now in the collegiate environment where things are a little more, I wouldn't necessarily go as far to say maybe more structured, but it's a different environment, a different style of play. But were there any other adjustments that you had to make when you made your transition to West Alabama?
Yeah, at first, like I got culture shocked, of course, but like luckily, all of the people in Livingston are very nice. They're trying to like, hey, how are you? They talk to you like like little talk. So I'm like, okay, everyone is so nice in this place. But like during in competition, like everyone is so competitive. Like here in the Philippines, we are all friends. But there, even though you're friends outside, you're like saying come on in the face, like, yeah, let's go, like for me, I'm like, okay, do I need to shout? Because I'm so shy to like shout. I'm so shy to like, yeah, let's go do that. But like sometimes you get angry, of course, because they're gonna be like facing you saying come on. So and then Jeff is telling me, you need to shout, you need to grunt, and I'm like, I'm not like that. Like I'm really not like that, but I will try my best. And then every time I win, Jeff is like, no, you need to shout that you win so that your teammate knows. And I'm like, in the Philippines, we don't do that, And then I just got like, it's just my coach helped me so much there. That's why I'm like, I'm fine. I'm so fine over there.
You've been there for at least a few years, if not a little bit more. What have you enjoyed most about your time at UWA?
Well, my team is really nice. Like our team is so like close to each other. We don't have like most of the team has drama inside, but like for us, we're like trying to push each other, like we don't really compete against each other. Whoever plays one, we support because it's a team. That's what I really like over there because Jeff always remind us that we are a team. We are as one. We're not we're not playing for ourselves. We're playing for the whole team. We're playing for the whole school. That's why I'm like, oh, I really like this team. We're just like that's why because we support each other. So most of my teammate doesn't really like believe in themselves because like and then when I came there, I started like pushing them. It's okay, like there's time that you played bad, there's time that you played good. It's not like always you're playing your best, but just give your 100%, then you're not gonna regret everything. That's why I always told my teammate, and then they were like, okay, let's go. That's why they started like winning because they started believing in themselves.
And I was just thinking as you're mentioning that too, Shira, you mentioned earlier there was just a lot of uncertainty when it came to you going from the Philippines to the States. You weren't sure what that was going to look like. You prayed, you've asked God to guide you through journey to journey. And looking through that moment and just being the encourager that you are and getting your team motivated to win games leads me to my next question in regards to the way that you have fired up your team just in terms of the encouragement portion. But what would you describe as your biggest improvements in the game since coming to West Alabama into the States?
Well, I feel like I improve my like self confidence. Maybe I'm more like a fighter inside the court. That's why my teammates always call me, "Hey, fighter," because I fight until the end. I don't care if I crumbs or something like that. But like before here, I'm like so shy. I'm shy to like fight. If I know that I'm gonna lose, then I'm gonna give up. But like there, I'm like, no, I need to play play good. I need to give everything so that my teammate will get inspired because I'm playing one in my team, so so my teammates are like, if I win, they want to win too. You know what I mean? Like, because on the top part, because one, two, and three are very hard. It's very hard to win in that spot because everyone is so good. But like for us, I just want them to feel if I win, I want them to like, okay, let's go. Shaira is winning, so we need to fight. You know what I mean? So I feel like my fighting spirit, that's what I improve over there. Yeah.
For sure. And speaking of fighting spirit and just motivating your teammates, how has the GSC, when you're playing against other Gulf South Conference teams, how has playing against those opponents and just other teams in that conference challenged you as a competitor?
Well, now I'm very competitive, so I'm like pushing my team to like, hey, let's win against them. But overall, outside the court, our like opponents are very nice. Of course, I talk to them, I say hi to them. We're not like we played inside the court, but we are friends outside the court. So I'm just like fine with everyone. Actually, I don't have like, because sometimes if you played against other team, you have this like, oh, I don't like that person because that person is like this and that. But like for me, I'm just like fine. I just played against them, but like I also say hi outside the court.
Shira, you're often sharing encouraging and positive things with your teammates and continuing to fire them up and just being that encouraging motivator. How do you yourself stay grounded during long seasons or tough matches when you have to continue to find ways to motivate yourself in addition to your teammates?
Well, of course, not all the time you have motivation to play, but like my coach always come to my court and always makes me laugh, always makes jokes. It just like makes me feel like it's okay if you lose, then you lose, at least you give your all. So that's why I'm like, okay, I need to, like, for me my motivation is like, I need to win for my team, I need to win for my school, I need to win for myself, I need to win for my coach, because of course, I'm like, they are all my motivation because I want them to be proud of me, and I want I want myself to be proud of myself too. That's why that I always think about that. Like every time I played for myself and I played for everybody. You know, so yeah, I mean, that's part of my growth too, because I always play like individually, but like now I'm playing as a, like, for the team. So it's just hard to like, at first it's so hard to adjust from individual to team, because when I came to UWA, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna beat everybody, for me, because I want to be on top. But it's not like that. Even though you're playing number six, you're playing, if you win, all of your team, like all of you will win. It's not just like only you will win. So that's why I always tell them, like, hey, it's okay, whatever number you're playing, just give your best because we're playing as a team. So I think that's part also that I learned over there, is like how to handle, like how to be part of the team and how to not compete with your teammates.
Shira, we've talked a whole bunch about tennis, but now let's get to the academic side and who you are as a person off the court. What were you currently studying at West Alabama? Is my understanding you were studying some interdisciplinary studies, and essentially with the major that you have, what are you looking to accomplish with your major, and what would you like to do outside of the sport of tennis?
Well, of course, I don't see myself working in the office or working for someone. So right now I'm like more on I want to be a tennis coach because that's my passion and I enjoyed doing it. So I'm coming back to UWA next year to play one more season with them, and I will take sports management.
Sport management is a fascinating major, and I think in your situation, because you have that extra year, a lot of student athletes they take that similar route as well. With that, in your final year at UWA, what would you like to see accomplished for yourself as well as for the team overall?
Well, I wanna, of course, for myself first, I wanna graduate master's degree because I mean, it's very different if you have a master's degree, and and yeah, that's why I took that's why I chose sports management because I really like the professor over there. Also, yeah, and yeah, my goal for my team is like maybe win the GSC again, the conference, of course, where everyone is like, that's our goal as a team. So yeah, for now, that's the only goal I have for our team because a lot of new members that I don't really know them because of course when I graduate I went to LA to work over there, so I don't know them yet.
What would people be surprised to learn about you off the court?
Off the court, like, all right, me outside the court, I really like traveling. Like, if I want to restart, I want to go somewhere like good view, like I'm with my friends, but like we're not gonna talk about tennis because, of course, we were like on vacation, so that's why I don't really like talking about tennis when I'm like done with, like, especially when we're done in our conference. So I just like traveling. I go somewhere to like restart again.
Alrighty, Shira. Well, before we let you get out of here, we do have a couple of rapid fire questions for you. So just whatever comes to mind, shoot.
All right.
So, first question we have for you: what is your go-to pregame song before a match? What's your pregame rituals, or what do you do before every tennis match?
Well, I'll pray. I always pray before and like listening to music, Christian music.
Who is the toughest Gulf South Conference opponent that you've faced so far?
Lee, Ashley.
And then, what is your favorite post-match dessert meal? What's your favorite go-to dish after a match?
Filipino food. I always cook Filipino food after. Yeah.
Shira, thank you again for taking the time to be with us. We appreciate you being on, and we're looking forward to your final year being great with memories and wonders. Again, we know with the time difference, things have. We appreciate you bearing with us. I know it's midnight over there now, and we're looking forward to a great 2026 season from you.
Thank you so much again for having me. Really, it's very overwhelming that I'm your guest. So thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the GSC. Don't forget to hit like, share, or subscribe wherever content can be found so you won't miss highlights, stories, and more. So long for now, and we'll see you back here next time on Inside the GSC.